Apple added a bunch of new features to your iPhone 8 months ago. Most people actually missed them, forgot about them, or never actually learned how to use them. Like this liquid glass look, this clock, or this uniform app design. And that's just the beginning, because there are a few features in here that can literally save you time every day. Stick around to the end for a tip that might not just change your phone, but how you think about improving things in general. Let's dive in. If you long press your lock screen, you get this full customization panel. But here's the part most people miss. This clock resizing, it only works for the first font. Every other font locks you into a standard size. It's the only way to get that huge clock aesthetic. You can use the sliders to adjust the width or adjust the transparency, which is the ultimate stealth look for your phone, and also multiple color choices that work nicely with your background. Now, once you have your clock looking right, we need to address the icons. You can actually match your icons perfectly to your wallpaper using this eyedropper. If you tried the tinted icons and thought they looked a bit much, unlock your iPhone, long press on a home screen, tap Edit at the top left, and select Customize. In the customization panel at the bottom, select Tinted, but don't use the sliders yet. Instead, look at the small eyedropper icon at the bottom right corner. When you tap this, it gives you a magnifying glass. Drag it to a color in your wallpaper that isn't the main one, maybe a shadow or a subtle highlight. Most people just stop there, but for a truly pro look, you want to use the saturation slider, which is the bottom one, to pull the color back just a tiny bit more. This creates a monochromatic, muted look that makes the translucent glass effect of the icons really stand out without being a distraction. Now that your iPhone looks incredible, let's talk about a feature that 90% of the people are still doing the long way. If you're still using the share button to move photos between apps, you're wasting time. Let's master the pro drag and drop method. This is the tip that makes people's jaw drop when I show it to them. Most people are still doing the share sheet dance, tapping a photo, hitting share, finding the app, and sending it. That's the old way. Even though drag and drop has been around for a while, you should be using this pro move fluently. Just long press that photo in your messages, and once it lifts off the screen, keep holding it. Then with another finger, swipe out, go into another message, and drop it. It's that simple. You can do this with multiple items at once. Now you're carrying a whole stack of media. You can drag this stack into another message, or drop it into a note. Once you master this move, you won't go back. If you didn't know this one, hit that like button. This is one that people seem to always miss. Now, if you're doing all this high-speed multitasking, the last thing you want is for your iPhone battery to die by 3 p.m. Let's talk about adaptive power, the battery setting that actually learns how you use your phone. In iOS 26, you should be using the adaptive power toggle. Think of it as a smart assistant for your battery. If it's not already on, you can toggle it on in Settings, Battery, Power Mode, and toggle on adaptive power. It uses the on-device neural engine to study your specific routine. It subtly trims back background tasks and dims the display by just 3%. It takes about a week of training for your iPhone to learn your habits, so don't be alarmed if you don't see it make a huge difference right away. It's all about that long-term reliability. Now, while your battery is working smarter, your iPhone should be working harder as well to protect you from the one thing we all hate, spam texts. Let's find where those missing texts are going. If you ever thought someone didn't reply to you, this might be why. In Messages, tap the Filters button, which is the inverted pyramid icon in the top corner. Here you'll find the spam folder. Unlike your unknown senders list, these messages will not trigger a notification or even a badge on your home screen. If you find a legitimate message here, tap Not Spam and tap Move to Messages. This teaches the neural engine that this specific sender is safe. There's a setting under Settings, Apps, Messages called Text Message Filter. If you toggle this on, it splits your inbox into unknown, transactions, promotions, and spam. It's the ultimate way to stay organized. This next one might be the most useful feature people ignore. Let's look at a feature that finally kills the music on hold nightmare. Hold Assist. Notice the More button with the 3 dots. Most of us will just put it on speaker and set the phone down and wait for someone to answer. But with Hold Assist, your iPhone silences the music and moves the call to the background. As soon as a real human voice is detected, and not a recording, your iPhone will ring or vibrate, just like an incoming call. And the best part, you can see a live transcript on your screen before you even answer. Here's how to enable it. Go to Settings, Apps, Phone, and make sure Hold Assist detection is toggled on. Let me know in the comments if you've used this one. This next one is one of those things that has been there, but people just aren't using it. While we're talking about making life easier, let's talk about the middle swipe. In iOS 26, Apple tweaked the gesture recognition. Instead of reaching all the way to the edge of the screen to go back, just swipe from the middle of the screen. This works perfectly in almost every app, including most of the third-party apps. So your iPhone is navigating faster, but this next one is one of those features that when it came out, people saw it and then never used it again. Let's look at settling "where are we eating" debate. If you're still trying to coordinate plans by having 10 people text yes in a group chat, you're doing it the hard way. iOS 26 finally integrated polls into iMessages. Please note that this does not work for Android users. When you send this, it's not just a message, it's a live widget. Everyone in the group can vote, and you'll see the results instantly. We used to go back and forth trying to decide something. Now it's literally one tap and done. All right, this next tip is for pro models only, but people definitely miss it. For years, we've been able to change the brightness of a flashlight, but you can change the width of the beam as well. By tapping the dynamic island and swiping sideways, you can go from a wide floodlight that illuminates an entire room to a tight spotlight that's perfect for seeing something far away without blinding everyone around you. I use the wide setting when I'm trying to look for something under the couch, and the narrow setting when I'm trying to read a menu in a dark restaurant without being that person with the searchlight. These features have been sitting on your iPhone for months, but most people forgot about them or never really fully used them. And honestly, that's kind of how a lot of things work. It's not always about getting something new. It's about going back, learning more about what you have, and using it better. That's something I've been trying to stay intentional about. Just keeping a mindset of always learning, always improving, and not assuming that you figured it all out. This is Mike with Easy and Simple, where we focus on weekly iPhone tips. Let me know if any of these helped you today. I look forward to reading all of your comments, and I do my best to answer the questions promptly. I love to give shout-outs to all my subscribers because I really do appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's free to do. And don't forget to hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.